All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Thursday Night Lights presented. I got tea all over my face. Excuse me. Thursday Night Lights presented by Sunny Days Media. We're going into week 13 here, starting it off. Seahawks, Cowboys in Dallas. Dallas is a 9.5-point favorite. I don't know.
Sneaky good game. Sneaky good game.
Yeah. I agree. I would agree with that. I don't know what the over-under is, but I've gotten burned so much with over-unders this year that 47.5, not going to touch it. Not going to touch it. No world where I'm touching this. Last year, I felt so confident taking overs. This year, dog shit.
Last year was a different game than it was this year, my friend. I'll tell you that right now. I feel like offense has been on the downfall, and this is the year of the defense. Either that or it's the year of the incompetencies. I can't tell yet. It's fucking week 13. But last year was definitely more high scoring. I'm curious to see though. I want to see what Dallas's team over is, just because I hit Dallas's team over. Well, it was part of a. Yeah, no, the week before Thanksgiving, 28.5. It was one of the. I feel like that's a little high for this game. I feel like the Seahawks are like kind of an okay team to hold them off a little bit. I don't know if Dallas is going to break 30 here, but
well, Seahawks are on a 2-game losing streak, right? So they 2 weeks ago lost to a Rams team they should not have lost to, right? They lost that game 17-16. Also cost me some money. That was the last leg of a parlay. If they hit that field goal, I would have made some money, and I lost money. Losing to the Niners on Thanksgiving night, in a way, kind of no shame in that. Like, a little bit of shame. That's your divisional opponent.
Zero.
But that's your divisional opponent. Like, you should match up better than that.
Yes, but those two teams are just so, like,
right.
I think the Seahawks are good. I think the Niners are in the top tier of the NFL. Like, and then the Niners are, I would say, 2 steps below that, even though they're what, 6 and 5, I think.
6 and 5.
So,
I mean, lost to beat a Commanders team the week before the Rams. So this is their last 4 games. Lost to the Niners 31-13. Lost to the Rams 17-16. Beat the Commanders 29-26. Didn't cover the spread in that game. I think that was a 5.5-point spread. Got blown out by the Ravens. Beat the Browns, so on and so forth. I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Seahawks team anymore. What I can tell you is Geno is not the same guy we saw last year. He's not the same guy we saw probably back in
1 through 5.
Yeah, right. And that run game is not where Pete Carroll likes it to be. Pete Carroll is a head coach that really likes to be in the 50-50, ideally in the 50-50 range. Well, I shouldn't say that. He's a guy that lives in the 50-50 range, right? Runs the ball as much as he passes it. Ideally, he's a guy that really likes to be in like the 60-40 range, 55-45 range. He likes to run just a little more than he throws the ball. Oh,
which is funny because we all watched that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. But when you look at their offense, like in every category, total yards they're 21st, passing yards they're 17th, rushing yards, right? What used to be their bread and butter, 26th. They're averaging about 96 yards a game. Cowboys are averaging 115 points per game. They're tied for 18th. And their third down percentage is awful, 31.3%. 31% of the time. That's 29th in the league. 31.3% of the time they get to a third down, they convert. That means, for those of you that are awful at math like me, 69% of the time, they are punting or getting to a fourth down, right? So
Seattle or Dallas?
Seattle. That's not a world you want to live in on offense. I don't care how good your defense and special teams are. That's not, to me, that's the most glaring thing I read. It's not the passing yards. It's not the rushing yards. It's almost not even the total points. It's your third down percentage. as opposed to, for example, Dallas, a top tier team we were just talking about. Dallas's third down percentage, 47.7% of the time. So almost half the time they get to a third down, they're moving the sticks. I mean,
I've long since realized that's the most important aspect to an offense that you
Yeah.
can have. Watching, again, everything ties back to the Jets, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm here. The Jets literally have a third down percentage of like 0.02% in the last 5 games. It's disgusting. Disgusting. And the fact that they can't convert on a third down, and then like you would sit here and scoff at 47%, think, "Oh, that's nothing. That's not even 50%. He's not above the Mendoza line." No, 47%, like that's really, really good. And that's what you need to be doing. That's when you need to really convert. That's your bread and butter. I do want to touch upon though really quick with the Seahawks. You look at Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker had a I want to say he had 2 really good fantasy seasons back to back. 23, 21, 22, right? And this year, I just feel like he's been
No.
really,
Last year was his rookie year.
was it? Never
believe.
mind. Just last year alone. You're probably
Inactive
really
tonight,
right about
also,
that.
by the way.
Is he? Is he hurt, or is he just being benched? He's hurt.
Oblique. Saying oblique.
Okay.
So.
I feel like he's been quiet this year. I think that's a big part of it. You know, with as far as the rushing game goes.
Did you freeze or?
No, I'm here. I just that's all I had to say. That's all I had to say about that.
All right, and then on the Cowboys side, everything I just named for you, essentially the total opposite. Man, they're total yards. They're averaging almost 400 total yards a game. They're 4th in the league in passing, 13th in rushing, but still averaging over 100 yards a game on the ground. That's fine for today's NFL. That's just fine. You play in a dome. I want to say most of their cold weather games are kind of done for the year, right? Because they already played in Philly. So the big thing that we're looking at here is third down percentage.
They got to come to New York, or did that happen already? They played the Giants.
They already played. I know they played the Giants twice already. Swept them.
Yeah, I mean Dallas gets. I mean they're inside, but Dallas gets cold too. So I've been told.
It does, but they're in a dome. Like you know, Jerry World's taken care of.
Yeah.
And then defensively, same thing. Really, exactly what you would think on the third down percentage. I'm not going to read out all the stats, but the third down percentage, the Seahawks get off the field 44% of the time on defense, and the Cowboys get off the field 30. Oh no, third down. Okay, so I guess it's the same thing. So teams convert 44% of third downs against the Seahawks. They convert 34% against the Cowboys. Even idiots like me who are awful at math, you can figure that out. That's not good. That's not good. That means offensively, you are getting off the field immediately, and defensively, you are staying on the field and you are exhausting your defense. It's a recipe for disaster. Where I'm at on this game, I'm not 100% sure of it. I was on the teasers last week. I don't think I'm going to tease this game. I'm not super confident in it, but
9.5, dude. I take the fucking Seahawks here, man.
Yeah,
9.5 is a lot of points for a. I'm not going to call them good. We call them middle of the road. A team that can cover that spread. And I know the stat this year. With the higher spreads have been covering bar none, like it's clockwork. So that's something to consider here, but. I like the Seahawks here. As far as spreads go, the Cowboys win this game, but I think the Seahawks can cover 10 points.
They could. Listen, the Seahawks could come into Dallas and win outright. I mean, it's still Pete Carroll on that sideline. But I'm looking at it like this. Seahawks are coming across the country. It's a short turnaround. A lot of their big players are hurt. From a quarterback, I'm not a big Dak guy, but like Geno looks bad. Does not look like the guy we saw last year. So I'm gonna go Cowboys here. I actually already put the bet in 1 unit.
Trust your heart.
Cowboys minus 9.5. I know it's a lot of points. I know it's a primetime game. That's why once again I'm not touching a points total. But I have to. Oh, you're taking the under?
I'm not taking the under, but I think it's going to go under. It's a primetime game. I think I know I've been wrong about this before, but I feel like funny enough, because obviously these are the games you want to go over because you want them to be good games. I feel like primetime games much more so go under than they do over. Past two
That
seasons.
I've always found that with Monday nights. Like Sunday nights can go over. I've always found I've always actually found Monday night to be awful games. Like Monday night is very rare. Like Thursday night football is typically a better game than Monday night football, and maybe part of that is because
Not this year.
not this year, but that's been in years past, and maybe a lot of that is because like Thursday, your mentality, as stupid as it is, you're going into the weekend, so you're
Yeah,
already
yeah, yeah.
excited about the weekend. You kind of don't mind if you stay up Monday. Maybe you're kind of rolling into work a little hungover because you were drinking, watching the Sunday games, and you maybe you lost some money Sunday, so you're already pissed off on Monday, and you don't want to bet it, and you end up betting it, and it doesn't go your way. So, that's been my experience. But I've always been a big Thursday night football guy. I mean, Thursday night football kind of really got big while we were in college, and like
On Fox. Yeah, I agree.
no, it started. Yeah, it would rotate. They would do Fox, CBS, and NBC. Like every night, it was one of the different networks, and then eventually NBC got it for a while. NBC had it for like like 5 seasons. They had
Really?
Thursday night. Yeah, they had Thursday night football for a while. It was an extension of their Sunday night football crew, and I guess now Prime has it. Prime had it last year as well, I believe.
No, you're wrong about that. Fox had it. Fox handed it off to Prime. I know that. I know
Okay.
that for a fact. Yeah, just because I used to buy in my old past life, I used to buy TNF
Oh,
on Fox.
this is what you're thinking of.
Joe
If the
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will call the games.
if the game is local, you get it on Fox. So Fox probably has the individual TV rights on that. So like when the Giants were on Thursday Night Football, we had it on Fox in New York.
I don't know
If that
about
makes
that.
any
I'm
sense.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's just a
We're I
national
was
game.
no, I was literally watching. No, it's a national game, but we had it on the exact broadcast that was on Amazon Prime was also on Fox, and I remember that because the Mets were supposed to play on Fox that night, but you couldn't watch the Mets in New York because they had Thursday Night Football on. When the Giants played the 49ers, that whomping, whatever it was, week 3, week 3.
Anyways, TV rights
Anyways,
aside, because I could talk about this for hours. I want to say a quick piece on the Cowboys. So I've been on
yes.
my soapbox all season long. I've been calling this team for what they are. I still think they're frauds. I've eaten my crow. Are they a good team? Yes. Can they put up points? Yes. Can they move the ball downfield? Are they successful on third down? Yes, they are. I don't think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. I don't think they have a shred of a run game. I think Mike McCarthy's kind of a boneheaded coach. Their defense is serviceable. They have a great kicker. I think I think their defense is good. I think they have great special
I think
teams.
their
I think
defense
that's
is more
why
than
they're winning.
serviceable. Their defense is more
I
than
think
it's a good
I
defense.
think I think that's why they're winning games is because their defense is good and they have a good special teams unit, and that's why they're winning games. I don't think it has anything to do with their offense. So one thing I do want to say though, and I'm very proud to say it as a longtime fan of his, CD Lamb is finally coming into his own. But it only took what 5-6 seasons in the NFL to learn how to play football in that league that you're employed by. But very impressive season by CD Lamb so far. I'm happy that he's finally getting the ball. I'm happy that he's finally getting into the end zone. I just wish he had. I wish I had him on my fantasy team this year. I don't, because I gave up hope, and I was still rooting for the guy. That being said, though, this team is getting eliminated in the divisional round. I don't think they're getting past. I don't think you're going to be in the.
So if
they're not
they
gonna be in
if
the
they have to
conference
fly up
finals.
to Detroit in the divisional round, you think Detroit beats them?
I do. I do. I think especially because it's going to be pandemonium at Ford Field.
Oh,
Absolute
listen,
pandemonium.
Detroit's
They're
got to
going to
get
be
past
hungry.
the wild card round. Like I'm not going to start counting chickens before they hatch. This is a good team Detroit's got, but I'm not going to be in that world. But in the event, and they might be, they're probably going to have the best record of the wild card teams, right? Because they're at this point they're not winning the division. Eagles are going to win the division. Eagles are probably going to be the 1 seed. The only two that threaten them in that regard is the Niners and the Lions. I see the Lions losing 2 more games this regular season. There's 6 games left in all likelihood. probably going to go 4-2, which is still not bad. And the Niners, I mean, the Niners might lose a couple. The Niners might fucking win out. And speaking of which, the Niners the Niners might win out. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think they will. I think they will. I don't think it's a fight.
Yeah. All right.
I think they will.
Yeah. No, they're a damn good team. And they're playing the Eagles this week. They're playing the Eagles in Philly, which is fucking nuts.
I've said this from the get-go. This is the NFC Championship game. This is a tasting. They're gonna get to taste each other's blood, and they're gonna go in, and it's gonna be a rematch of last year. I think this is gonna be the NFC Championship game.
Well, first of all, I hope you're wrong, but I can understand that. If I had a gun to my head, maybe I would say the same, but
because the Cowboys have to play the Eagles in the divisional, right? Or am I making that? I was going to ask.
No. So like
okay.
The way it stands now, Eagles are 1, Lions are 2, Niners are 3, and then whoever wins the disaster of the NFC.
You guys better fucking pick it up, or the Niners are going to pass you.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you that. You're not on the field, but you know what I'm saying. Like they're on your coattail.
The only thing that helps us is that the Niners have to play. Oh, they already played the Cowboys, and they have the tie. Well, it doesn't even matter. The Niners have a little more difficult of a schedule, although the remainder of the Lions' schedule could prove to be a little more difficult now. Now they have the Broncos in 2 weeks, and the Broncos are not the same Broncos we saw in September, and honestly, even October.
They might be a wild card team.
I think they will. Oh, I think they will. Oh yeah, I think the Denver Broncos are gonna be. I think the Denver Broncos are probably gonna be the number 7. Probably even better than that. I could see them being the 5 or the 6 in the AFC, because you know what? The AFC was this conference that everybody talked about in the beginning of the year, that the NFC was trash, and that the AFC, oh, look at all this talent, and look at how great all these players are, and the AFC, I mean, yes, they've had injuries, right? Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, and that's not anyone's fault. That's luck of the draw. You know, sucks, right? Life sucks. But overall, from a talent standpoint, I think the NFC is fucking better. And considerably better. What do you have in the AFC? You've got the Ravens, who are, until anyone proves us wrong.
You got the Ravens, you got the Chiefs, you got the Steelers, you got the Texans, you got the Broncos, and
the Jaguars. No, the Jaguars.
Yeah, the
Jaguars are legit, right? Jaguars are legit. Texans are legit.
There's your 7 teams right there.
But, you don't have anyone that you look at, right? Any one of those teams you don't want to see in the playoffs. But that's a playoff team, right? Teams that you don't want to see in the playoffs are teams you will see in the playoffs, and that's why they're that good. But there's no one in the AFC that really scares the fucking shit, is flawless and scares the shit out of you. In the NFC, the Eagles have won a lot of close games, but they've won 10 games. So people could call them fraudulent. They still won 10 games. Jalen Hurts is fucking unbelievable. They look damn good. The Cowboys have a crazy pass rush. They've got great receivers. They could beat you a multitude of ways. Detroit has been on a lull the past 2 weeks, but Detroit could just kill you with the scoreboard. As long as the game doesn't come down to a fucking field goal, Detroit could kill you on the scoreboard. So I think the NFC is just a better conference right now, and I don't think it's that close. Do you want to get into asshole of the week?
Yeah,
Jerry?
Sure. Why not?
You want to start it out, or you want me to start?
Yeah, I'll go first. My asshole of the week is Snoop Dogg, and for my listeners, I think it's just Larry here with us tonight, which it is. What's up? How we doing?
How we doing, Larry? Hey guys, forgot you were on. What a loving father.
Listen, you got to start somewhere, right?
And he dropped off.
Thank God it's pre-recorded. Or not pre-recorded. Thank God it stays up and you can revisit. It's on demand.
We got people on Twitter. We have people on Twitter watching because they message me, but I'll tell them, click on the YouTube link so we could boost the views. So in a year from now,
advertisers here.
When we look for advertisers, I could say, there's more than this. There's invisible numbers on the Twitter machine. Go ahead, Jerry. Who's your asshole of the week? Snoop Dogg.
It's Snoop Dogg. If you tuned into the inaugural asshole good noodle of the week for the week before Thanksgiving was the first and only time we've done it so far. My good noodle of the week was Snoop Dogg, and this is on me. Hand up. I'm an advertising guy. I worked in advertising for 7 years
Oh,
before I
you
moved
should have
up.
seen this coming.
I don't know how I didn't. I don't know how I didn't. I thought Snoop Dogg was turning over a new leaf. He gave up the smoke. Lo and behold, it was a fucking advertisement for Solo Stove, and the writing was on the wall the whole time. I fell for it. Hand up. Maybe I'm the asshole of the week, and maybe it's not Snoop Dogg.
Honestly,
My asshole of the week is Snoop Dogg for pulling.
Thank God you're not in advertising anymore.
Yeah, I was pretty okay at what I did. You know, don't throw shade.
Jerry.
I got some friends in the industry. I'm still connected. I know the
Jerry.
ins and outs.
Jerry.
Listen.
It's a rough look, Jerry.
It is what it is. All right.
Who's your good noodle?
My good noodle is Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is competing. I don't know. Actually, let's look. Let's try to see what he finished at. There's a golf tournament that started today in Bermuda that he is playing in for the first time since I believe last year's St. Andrew. Cass, that's my guy. Yeah, Cass and I and our other co-host Chris, CPM Live from here, do Blue Shirt Banter. I plugged that a few times before. Tiger Woods, oh shit, he didn't finish too strong. Tiger Woods finished +3 today, towards the bottom of the leaderboard. But any golf with Tiger Woods on the golf course is good golf in my eyes. I love watching that man play. So Tiger Woods, you're the good noodle. I know you're watching after a long day on the course. We love you, and I hope to see you in the Masters in April.
Is it my turn?
Go for it. It's only two of us.
It's only two of us. Loneliness. My asshole of the week. This doesn't go to oh, I have a cough. Whoever gave me this cough, asshole of the week. No. Asshole of the week does not go to one person. Goes to a whole unit. Browns defense. You fucking assholes. Okay? Last week, and I wish Facino was on because we owe him an apology. We're shit talking Russell Wilson, picking through his stats, telling him, hey, Browns defense is coming in. Top defense in the NFL. It's not close. They're fantastic. They're going to shut down Russ. He's going to be inaccurate. He's going to throw picks, turn the ball over, blah, 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 blah. You know what? I should have fucking known this being a Lions fan. Jim Schwartz, get off your fucking high. I know you're playing the Broncos, and I know you're at Mile High. Why don't you get off your fucking high horse? Get off your high horse and get these guys rolling. That was embarrassing. Okay? You literally let Russ cook. Like you let him cook on pretty much national TV. It was 4:00 game. Gave up, what was the final score of that game? 27-12, I believe, right?
Yeah, I guess we really do owe Facino an apology.
We owe Facino a massive apology. Stand by here. 29-12. A team that could barely score 20 points a few weeks ago put up 30 points on your big bad defense. Listen, I'm not mad at that. They're not playing with a quarterback right now, right? They've got DTR, rookie QB out of UCLA.
He's hurt, isn't he? Didn't he get hurt?
I don't know. I know Deshaun's out. I don't know what's going on with DTR. But, I'm not going to sit here and scream at the offense. Defense, you're the strength of this team. You're the backbone of this team. And you walked into Mile High. And, not only did you lose the game, right? Because there was leeway. I think, I forgot what I got the Browns at. It was plus something. But whatever. I got the Browns at plus points. And then I took the under as well. And it was a juiced under. Right, so I think the under was 37 or 47 or something like that. My dog is going nuts upstairs. I'm checking the camera. So 37, they scored 41. So I took the under, and still couldn't come through for me, which didn't matter because the Browns didn't win. But absolute fucking disaster for this great defense. Absolute disaster. Step it up this week. Who are they playing? They're playing the Rams. They're going to LA to play the Rams.
And they're getting points. They're
getting points here too.
Right? Yeah.
You're a 7-4 team and you know what? A lot of that has to do with the quarterback. But even if Deshaun was in, maybe it would be a pick 'em. Maybe or no, it would yeah, maybe be a pick 'em, I guess, or one. I mean, I don't know. Deshaun doesn't look very good anyway, but like, I don't know. Figure it out.
I think
This
if
would be an
If
all-time
Watson
Cleveland.
plays this game, they're giving 1.5. I think if Watson's playing against the Rams, the Browns would be -1.5.
Um, Browns would be -1.5. Yeah, because everybody that goes to LA, it's almost like another home game for them.
Yeah,
Like there's more away. It's
destination stadium.
exactly. It's a destination
No
stadium.
strong fan base. I agree.
Right. So, just that's my asshole of the week. Good noodle of the week. Pains me to do this. I also didn't have too much prep for this portion of the segment, so I'm going to go off the top of my head. Good noodle of the week. Whoever that guy was that picked off Tim Boyle and ran it all the way back, don't yell at Tim Boyle for that was last week. Yeah, that was last week. That was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Hail Mary. Yeah.
All right. Like, hell of an effort. Hell of an effort. Picked the guy off, picked off Boyle, didn't showboat, didn't do anything stupid. He saw an opportunity and played to the whistle. And hats off to that guy. Too many times in football today, we see guys think the play is dead, so they stop moving. And whoever that guy in the secondary was from Miami that brought it all the way back, hats off to him. Credit to that guy. Actually, let's find out his name. I'm sitting here giving him credit. Let's find out his name. This is horrible podcasting.
I'm not going to give him any credit.
Holland. Javon Holland, who's now hurt. Safety. No, credit to that guy. You played through the whistle. You didn't stop running. You followed your lead blockers, which, man, if DeAndre Swift, if you're listening to this, DeAndre Swift, if you could figure out how to do that in Philly, you'll have a hell of a career, and you'll stop hearing those boo birds. I can tell you right now, pal. Yeah, hats off to Javon Holland. Way to follow your blocking. Way to score an 100-plus yard pick six. Good for him. That's my good noodle. We got anything else on that, Cherry? I know that pains you.
Remember that time I said the Jets might win that game?
Yeah, I was there with you.
That was fun.
I wasn't calling you crazy.
That was fun. Listen, while we're on that topic, I do want to say something right now. We'll just fucking fast forward this portion of the show to current events / last week's recap on Sunday. Aaron Rodgers is mobile. Aaron Rodgers has been activated off the IR for his 21-day practice window. Aaron Rodgers feels better than ever. Aaron Rodgers used to stay the fuck on the bench and not play this season, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. I get it. I see what he's going for. I'm reading this emotional Twitter thread about how he bawled his eyes out on September 12th, and he said, I'm going to rehab my injury, and I'm going to do this better than anyone ever has, and I get that. Good for you. I'm happy you're doing that, whether you're doing that with modern medicine or experimental surgeries or whatever. Good for you, A-Rod. I'm happy. But you're 43 years old, 42, 43, 43. I don't need you rushing back because we all know this. Going into the season, we were a top 5 team in the NFL pre-rankings. We have a team. We know what we can do. We got a quick glimmer of that over training camp in preseason, and even, I mean, I don't want to say during that Monday Night Football game because we went 3 and out on that drive, but whatever. Don't rush back, dude. There's no reason for you to play Week 18 against Week 18 against the Patriots. There's no reason. I get it. I want to beat the Patriots as much as the next guy, but it's not going to be. If we beat the Patriots, it's going to do more harm to us than good because then they're going to end up with a better draft pick. Fuck that. Throw it. Finish it. Season's over. It's done. And I know for a fact the Jets are going to fuck around and let's look. I guarantee. No, that's a strong word. But I'm willing to bet that the Jets probably walk out with 2 more wins this season. Where they're going to come from, I'm not entirely too sure. But I mean, am I wrong for that? I've said crazier shit on this podcast. But if you look at the schedule, we got the Falcons, which I honestly think they're going to win. Fuck the Falcons.
I don't think you're going to win that.
No, you don't think so?
No.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. Crazier things have happened.
Have happened.
The Texans, which are going to get demolished. The Dolphins, which are going to get demolished. The Commanders, who I think are going to win. The Browns, if they fucking play like they played against the Denver Broncos. I think we can beat them. Maybe.
I think you're going to beat the
Maybe.
Patriots week 18.
And that's the whole point
I'm
of
sorry.
what I'm trying to say. We
Yeah.
should. That's the game we got to
I
lose.
think that's the game that you're going to win. Speaking of which, speaking of another piece of shit that lost me money last week, Mac Jones.
Stay away from him. Stay away from
No.
him.
I teased the over the game. I thought somehow those two fucking morons would be able to put up 30 points combined. That's asking for a 16 to 14 score. I didn't know that was asking too much. Apparently it was. Mac Jones is awful. Like he's
him
in
and Zach Wilson are going to be.
He's in Zach Wilson territory.
They're going to be sharing an office.
I mean, I know we've said this, and I don't have particularly too much more. A lot of the Lions. We'll talk about the Lions after, and we'll do our plugs after. My closing statement, I think, for tonight, we're really, really, really hitting the football, the quality of the football we're getting. I would say it's less. I would say Tom Brady was right. Tom Brady was right. The quality.
Yeah.
The quality of the game, and you know what? This is probably a better thing. I wish Facino was here for this. The quality of the football that we're seeing on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays is not as good as it was a year ago. It's not as good as it was 5 years ago. It's just not. More flags don't make the game safer. More penalties don't make the game safer. Trying to figure out ways. I understand wanting to protect the quarterback. What's up, Stevie Mac? Good to see you,
there
man.
He is.
I understand wanting to protect the quarterback, but we have hit a point where any big hit is a flag. Half the time you touch the quarterback, it's a flag. And what are you protecting? Like, I understood to a degree when it was Rodgers, it was Breeze, it was Brady. When you had a plethora of QB talent, like we said back in October, there was a point in this league where you had 10 like great quarterbacks. Maybe 4 of them were truly elite, but you had like 10 at any given time. You had like 10 really, truly great, tremendous quarterbacks, and everybody else was kind of mediocre to bad. It used to be that you had like 1 or 2 really awful quarterbacks, and the year after they would draft someone and they'll figure it out. Blah 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 blah. I mean,
they're protecting.
You could probably
tell you
name.
right now.
You could probably name
who they're protecting.
Who?
They're protecting them. They're protecting the NFL. They're protecting themselves. It's because they don't want any liability. They don't want any.
I understand. Listen, I get it. And trust me, after they came after football, like they will come after hockey. They will come after any collision sport. Any collision sport, they are coming after. That's not a take for me to put on this show, but I have quite a few takes on that. That there's a lot of people that want to genuinely just make things softer now. I think it's very important for boys to have a place where they could kind of, beat each other up a little in a way like this, in a competitive way, not beat the shit out of the little kid on the playground, but compete against one another, take out some aggression. But that's beside the point. My point that I'm trying to drive home is that we're at a place right now that's really bad for football, and that the quarterback play is just awful. All around, it's awful. There is maybe currently playing 3 like elite quarterbacks, a few other greats, and a lot of mediocre and a lot of bad quarterback play. And people could say it's from injury, but is it really from injury? Mac Jones was the starter. He's awful. He's fucking awful. Okay? Daniel Jones was the starter before Tommy DeVito. After watching a few games of Tommy DeVito, I don't know how much better Daniel Jones is. Daniel Jones is not good.
Listen, I love the DeVito saga. I'm all in on him. I'm all about the Italians getting what they're, getting our due. But let's not you give Tommy DeVito a starting job, you end up with Mac Jones. You end up with Mac Jones point 2.0.
Right, but here's the difference,
you
Jerry. Here's the difference. Is Tommy DeVito, he was either undrafted or he was drafted in like the 5th, 6th round. Mac Jones was a top 20 pick. Like, that's the problem, is that people
Mac Jones
convinced
also won a national championship, though. So let's not,
on an Alabama team full of NFL starters.
That's true.
Let's also be honest with each other, okay? So
he probably was on the best Alabama team in the past 10 years, I'd say. Right?
I don't.
He was AJ Brown's quarterback, like that. He was on that team, or was that Jalen Hurts?
I don't know. I want to say he was throwing to Jameson Williams. I don't know, but point is, a lot of bad quarterback play. It needs to be cleaned up. It really should probably start in the high school, college, realm. Don't know that it will be. It's becoming really, really difficult to develop these guys now with the transfer portal and coaches getting hired and fired so quickly. There's not a lot of developing anymore. It's a lot of look to the transfer portal, bring in a guy that helps us right now. If he can't help us, get rid of him after this year. So, but that's the world we live in. I think that is a direct correlation to the amount of unders that have hit this year.
Just the quality of overall play. I don't disagree.
No, the quality of the quarterback play. The quarterbacks drive the overs. That's kind of what it is. Yes, it's wide receivers and other shit and bad defenses, but and I guess listen, the game goes in cycles because I feel like years ago we were talking about a lot of bad defense in the NFL and nobody could play defense anymore. And, now you're starting to see some better defenses, but the quarterback play is atrocious. And looking at this crop of guys coming up, I don't see it in Caleb Williams like you. I don't know what to think of Drake May. I don't watch enough of him. Maybe Carson Beck out of Georgia could be a guy, but I don't know.
See, I think the talent comes from the unsung heroes. You look at guys like Josh Allen, which obviously Allen's not having the season that he's had, but Josh Allen played at Wyoming.
But my counter,
Mahomes
we could go back and forth though. We can go back and forth. You could name me Josh Allen out of Wyoming. I'll give you Joe Burrow out of LSU, national champ.
I think Joe Burrow's a unicorn. Maybe you can make an argument for Tua. Maybe.
Which I'm not a Tua guy. But yes. Jalen Hurts, another national champion from Alabama.
Whoa. Tua Tagovailoa, however the fuck you say his last name, won that national championship, not Jalen Hurts.
Was Jalen Hurts on that roster? Did Jalen Hurts get taken out at halftime?
Did Jalen Hurts get pulled at halftime?
But did Jalen Hurts get them there?
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
I mean,
fine.
Call a spade, right? He was on the roster. He was a starter all year. Got pulled. Sure. I'll call them both champions. They're both on the same team. They both contributed.
To Jalen Hurts' credit, though, he did go to Oklahoma afterwards and ball out. So it is what it is. But
right.
Still, I think that, because I don't want to also sit here and say that, you find your money at the bottom of the barrel, because that's how you end up with Daniel Jones going to Duke and taking him, 7th overall or whatever it was. So you don't want to, you don't want to be reaching for shit like that. But if you're in, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, Tom Brady, 263rd, shit like that you just stumble upon late in the game that really ends up helping you out, because there's no expectations, and these guys are just as good as football players as the next guy who was on a blue chip team in college, and like you said, to your point before with Mac Jones, these guys who are on these blue chip teams, these high profile prospects, these high profile draft picks, whatever you want to call them, they come in, they're on teams with multi NFL starting caliber players who are going to the league and are going to excel in their dedicated position, and because of that, their play is elevated. So you end up with Mac Jones coming in and you see his flaws in the game, whereas, you're seeing a guy who balled out at, going back to Josh Allen, a guy that balled out in the University of Wyoming with Jethro from the farm catching passes, going for 69 yards like it was no one's business. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, he's not throwing it. He's not throwing a fucking Jalen Waddle in Wyoming.
We could definitely, especially he's starting to cry right now. He's got to go out to the bathroom. We'll definitely get more into this in the off season once after the Super Bowl, after all that. I mean, honestly, probably touch on it like Super Bowl week.
Draft season.
Draft, yeah. We're going to go heavy into the draft this year. I didn't go heavy on the Lions today. Part of that is because myself, Pavo, and Patrick, if you go back on our channel, you'll see we're doing a Sunny Days in Detroit show. So a lot more of the Lions centric things you'll see there. We right now what we're aiming for and what we've done is a post game Monday, a pre-game Friday. But it's kind of whatever fits into our schedules. And we're still figuring out how to go about it and this show, but we're staying consistent with it. So for the rest of the season, we will be Thursday night and Sunday mornings. So, Jerry, you want to give a little plug to Sunny Days on Broadway and everything you're doing with Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with the people here. Sunny Days on Broadway has been a tad inactive just because this has been taking up things along with Blue Shirt Banter. But that being said, Sunny Days on Broadway has partnered with CPNY, and that's my sports. Shout out Aaron Cass, who was in the chat earlier. I am doing the Blue Shirt Banter podcast with Chris and Aaron. We kind of record scattered shows here and there. We don't have a set schedule like this does. We do pregame recaps. So we had one come out on Monday night, and we kind of just recap past games and stuff like that. So pay attention on Twitter. You can follow myself at Jerry Sunny Days. You can follow CPNY Sports, who you know and love from our other shows, and then you can find Chris does a good job of blasting out all of our shit, and then you can also find Aaron there, whose socials I do not know off the top of my head. But I'm hoping the blog once and probably in the next coming weeks, I think the blog you'll find a revitalization of the Sunny Days Media blog itself, where Sunny Days on Broadway will finally come to fruition and all that stuff. I do have a question for you regarding Blue Shirts Banter that I'll talk to you off air on. But yeah, tune into the pod. It's actually, like Aaron said, it's a pretty solid pod. I'm a big fan of it. I have a lot of fun doing it. And unlike this show where I kind of just talk out of my ass and have fun with my friends, I know what I'm talking about on the Rangers show a little bit. So come tune in, let us know what you think, and subscribe.
A lot of this is just feedback based, and really all of us. I mean, obviously none of us are paid for this. We're all doing this to kind of build a brand and get more into sports media. We get more feedback on videos. It's a little quicker and easier for us to do the videos, and it's easier for someone to pull up maybe on their way into work the next day or whatever, or maybe before the game. So a lot of our focus has been doing these shows once the off season comes around. Still be doing videos, still be doing the show, but I'm sure you'll see much more Sunny Days on Broadway once football's over. You'll see much more Sunny Days in Detroit once football's over as well, like, the blogs. So definitely keep checking out our website, sunnydaysinflushing.com. Here and there, guys are posting blogs. I know Mark, I think, has been relatively consistent with the Islanders blogs. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in. We will see you Sunday morning.
11 a.m. Be there, be square.